felt a great disturbance in the Force.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Wiltshire Wishes. The Last Jedi is almost here. I cannot wait. And so today I thought I'd break down top 5 Star Wars stories from the expanded universe, from books, comics, video games, that I'd love to see adapted in the new saga films or spin-off films, because we know we're going to get more. Probably one a year, maybe even 2 a year eventually. So without further ado, let's start. Now, before some of you start commenting saying, stop talking about the expanded universe, embrace the new, forget the old. Do you know how much they've already taken from the expanded universe? Quillian Voss, who's in the Clone Wars, who's had his own canon novel now, was originally an expanded universe character. Thrawn in Rebels, he's been great in Rebels. He was from the Thrawn trilogy, one of the greatest expanded universe stories of all times. You also have Kylo Ren. For those who don't know, he's so much based on an expanded universe character, Jason Solo, the son of Han and Leia, who became a Jedi and, what do you know, turned to the dark side. Darth Maul coming back in the Clone Wars TV series, and then Rebels with robotic legs. That was first explored in the Star Wars Tales, in Star Wars Visionaries, and so many other Star Wars expanded universe stuff. And people thought it was stupid, and it turned out to be a great storyline, and we wanted them in a spin-off film, but unfortunately, spoilers, I don't think that's going to happen. And there are so many more things they've taken from the expanded universe. Darth Bane, he appeared in the Clone Wars. He was expanded universe. They've even hinted at the Mandalorian Wars and Malachor. That's all from the KOTOR games. And there's so many other things they could take from the expanded universe and adapt for the movies and for even the TV shows. And I'd love to see it actually happen. Now, I'm first to admit that some of the expanded universe is so stupid. From you have the bunny pilot to a Gamorrean rebel pilot, a pig pilot, but he is awesome. His name's Piggy. And then you've got the clone of Luke Skywalker called Luke Skywalker with 2 U's, okay, just to differentiate that. And then you have the numerous amount of super weapons that I will support some of them, but you have the Galaxy Gun, the World Devastators, the Eye of Palpatine. You might as well have the nostril of Palpatine, as Han Solo joked in one of the expanded universe novels. You've got the Sun and so many other things that should not be brought into canon, like Emperor Palpatine having numerous clone bodies and also having 2 sons who are Triclopses. Yes, that actually happened in expanded universe. I'm sorry, it did. I'm not going to suggest those storylines, nor am I going to suggest storylines that they have already sort of adapted. Like, as I said, Jason Solo's storyline in the Legacy of the Force novels, because that is so similar to Kylo Ren's, and also the Thrawn trilogy, as Thrawn has already been brought into canon. So, my number 5 storyline or plot point that should be brought into canon is the Vuz Vang Vong.
For all the evil the enemy do, they aren't dark exactly. The enemy are entirely outside the Force.
Now, I hear an immediate groan, because I know some people think they're stupid. Now, for those who haven't read the New Jedi Order novel series, I loved it, okay? But the reason why I love the Vuz Vang Vong so much, and the reason why I support them, is they were the first big threat that was not the Sith or the Empire. How many times can we keep recycling that? The First Order is basically the Empire. Kylo Ren is basically a Sith. And people are complaining that Force Awakens was already recycled. They need a new enemy. And what better than the Vuz Vang Vong? Out of all the expanding universe enemies that were not either Sith, Empire, or sort of related to that, like the Empire of the Hand and all these other things, Vuz Vang Vong were the most threatening. They destroyed worlds. They hated technology. They literally hated it and would destroy droids and everything. All their ships were organic, okay? They grew their ships and they were huge ships. And their armor was organic. Their weapons were organic. Everything was organic. And they terraformed worlds like Coruscant, which is huge skyscrapers. They terraformed and made it nearly unlivable for humans for a while. They conquered half the flipping galaxy. But they're so different to the Empire. And for another thing, they can't be found in the Force. Now, for Jedi, that must be hard. Jedi are so used to fighting with the Force, and this was explored in the novels. They didn't know how to comprehend it because they couldn't be found in the Force, and the Vuz Van Gogh actually became to sort of hunt Jedi as sort of a religious practice, and warriors deliberately sought out Jedi to hunt. So the Jedi were hunted again in this war. And I just think we need another villain apart from the Empire. So I'd love to see the Vuz Van Gogh brought in a capacity to maybe the next trilogy, to maybe a spin-off film. I think it would be great. The next storyline that I'd love to be brought into canon is called The Rule of Two.
Two there should be. No more, no less. One to embody power, the other to crave it.
Now, for those who don't know, the Rule of Two has already been mentioned in canon. Okay, it's mentioned in some novels. It's basically Darth Bane, who's appeared in Clone Wars, so is now canon, destroyed all the previous Sith armies and everything. He got rid of them all, and it was like, no, we can't have loads of people fighting for power. There'll be one master, one apprentice, one who holds the power, and one who craves it. And then, as soon as the apprentice is ready, the apprentice will kill the master and assume the master role.
When your power eclipses mine, I will become expendable. This is the rule of two, one master and one apprentice. When you are ready to claim the mantle of Dark Lord as your own, you must do so by eliminating me.
Now, all this worked for hundreds of years. The Sith, because of this rule, they lived in secret. We discovered in The Phantom Menace that they thought the Sith were dead. But it turned out they weren't. Darth Maul was a Sith. And Yoda even says, was he the master or the apprentice? Now, in the expanded universe, it didn't really make sense because they didn't know about the Rule of Two. But they can easily retcon that now the expanded universe doesn't count. But I just think the Rule of Two movie, call it The Rule of Two, a Star Wars story. And we see Darth Bane. We see his apprentice. It doesn't have to be the apprentice from the expanded universe. And maybe we see over years how it changes, how as the apprentice goes to the master, another apprentice. And, you see this build up. Maybe some masters think, I don't want my apprentice to kill me. I'm going to kill them. But it's just such a unique storyline and so different from the Jedi. And to see how they actually started gathering power and how it was pulling all the strings in the background to eventually conquer the galaxy as Sidious did would be great. And because the Jedi don't know about them, we won't be seeing Sith fighting Jedi. Or if we do, the Jedi will die because the Sith was still a secret in The Phantom Menace. So they have to remain a secret from Darth Bane until Phantom Menace because they thought the Sith were dead. So let us see the Rule of Two and maybe even Darth Bane in a standalone film. Now my number 3 is Rogue Squadron.
One day, the whole galaxy will know Rogue Squadron. Mark my words.
And you're immediately going to say, is that related to Rogue One? No, but they can easily make it as a tribute in a way. Rogue Squadron is an old series of novels called about an X-Wing squadron led by fan favourite and awesome guy Wedge Antilles, and so many other characters you may recognise from one scene or two scenes in the original trilogy. Taisho Kaoshu, Wes Jansen, Wedge and Hobie Kirian have both also appeared in the Rebels, the last 2 seasons. So let us see them in a standalone movie. Now, yes, Dennis Lawson isn't wanting to play him anymore. He hates Star Wars, even though he's Obi-Wan's uncle. But we don't want an old Wedge Antilles. We want a young Wedge Antilles. Cast someone like maybe a Ben Barnes, a Kit Harington, a Taron Egerton to play that young, military guy who was in the Empire and has now joined the Rebellion to lead a squadron of crack commando X-Wing pilots. Now, in the expanding universe, Wedge Antilles always said he built this squadron to be the best of the best, to represent the Rebel Alliance and the New Republic. So there was many ones from different species. There was a Bothan at one point. We could finally see the Bothan. There was a Mon Calamari. There was a Quarren. There was humans. There was a relation to Biggs Darklighter, Gavin Darklighter, his cousin. And Luke Skywalker was even in Rogue Squadron for a time. And for people who don't want to see any more of the Rebellion, I still want to. We could even set this up. And during the years between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, an elite X-Wing squadron. Okay, think of it, the Battle of Britain in space. Wouldn't that be amazing? Okay. Now, my last two stories are set way before the Phantom Menace. My first one is The Great Jedi Hunt. Now, this would have to be adapted.
The Taran Tatek feeds on Force-rich blood, and thus hunts Sith purebloods exclusively. The Sith use them against enemies, yet fear the inevitable retaliation.
And they couldn't do it straight from the expanding universe. But The Great Jedi Hunt is after the Sith Wars. The Sith Wars before the Knights of the Republic. No, the original Sith War with Exar Kun, who you may recognise that name from the KOTOR that was mentioned, just before the Mandalorian Wars, around that time. Now, the Great Jedi Hunt was a hunt that the Jedi set out to do to hunt down Sith monsters that were left over in the war. Now, the main monsters they were hunting were called the Terrantex. I think I pronounced that correctly. You fight these in the Knights of the Republic, and in a expanding universe comic, you actually see the team who are sent to hunt down the last two, fail and turn to the dark side because two of them fall in love. One of them sort of says, "No, I'm not going to. I don't support that," and leaves them to go find and hunt down this other monster on Kashyyyk. And in KOTOR, in the Knights of the Republic original game, you actually kill these two beasts that they were meant to hunt down, and you can find their armor and weapons. The reason this would be a great storyline is the Jedi eventually said, "No, we're not doing the hunt anymore. The hunt's over. We won." But they hadn't. They knew they hadn't, and they sent these three Jedi out to finish it. And they sent these three Jedi out to do it because they had a bond, a force bond between them. They thought they were strong enough to resist the dark side that these creatures would tempt. I just think seeing Jedi hunt monsters would be something different from hunting Sith. And we could learn more about the Old Republic. If they ever do an Old Republic TV series, this would be a great arc for 3 episodes or so. So I would love to see this become canon. Now, my final one is the one probably you've all been waiting for. It's not KOTOR. Well, it is, but it's the Jedi Civil War, which heavily features in the first Knights of the Republic video.
The reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognise the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they're both Jedi, with different philosophies.
Okay. Now, I'm not talking... I don't necessarily want to see Malik, Revan. I'd love to. But the twist was so good in Knights of the Republic, I don't know if they could do it in the movies if all the Star Wars fans know it's coming. The fact that if you're following this guy and he's a soldier and then he turns out and then you find out he has the Force and you're thinking, oh, he's going to be Revan, and he is Revan. I don't want another Khan situation in Star Trek Into Darkness. No, he's not Khan. Oh, he's Khan. We knew. And they were like, no, he's not Revan. He's Revan, isn't he? Yes, he's Revan. We don't want that. But I still think I'd love to see something like that. If they could do a twist in a Star Wars movie, it would be great. Star Wars movies have been so secretive. We never knew that Kylo Ren was Han Solo's son until watching the film, unless you were spoiled online. Luckily, I was not. You were Jedi's leaving the temple to join the Sith. Because, in some ways, Malik and Revan had it right. They defended the innocent. Maybe using aggression, maybe not following the Jedi Council's order, but they defended the innocent. And when they went off to explore the unknown regions, they came back as Sith. And I think it would be really great ideas and points to explore. So, let's summarise. I want to see Rogue Squadron. I want to see the Vu Zhang Vong. I want to see more enemies apart from the Empire and the First Order. I want to explore the Old Republic. Let's see the Great Jedi Hunt. Let's see the Rule of Two. And let's see the Jedi Civil War. So what do you think of my ideas? What other expanded universe stories would you love to see? Do you want to see the Gamorrean pilot? Do you want to see a clone of Luke Skywalker called Luke Skywalker? I know you do. No, seriously, we do not want to see that. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And don't forget to hit that like button. Until next time, follow me on Twitter and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching. Bye.